Hey everyone, welcome back to the B-Movie Bunker. Today we're looking at 2012's Byzantium, brought to us by Neil Jordan, the same guy who brought us, years ago, Interview with a Vampire, and he's returned to his vampire ways to bring us the story of Eleanor and Clara. Eleanor played brilliantly by Saoirse Ronan, and playing her mother, her vampire mother, Gemma Arterton, as Clara. The chemistry between the two of them in this movie is really, really well done. Both of them playing, 200 or so year old vampires. I love this movie a lot. It's dark, it's moody. The setting for it is perfect in this kind of rundown coastal, English town, which is an overall feeling of the story of it. It's rundown, it's dreary, it's tired in a lot of the same ways that the characters are. They're tired, they're worn out, they're weary because they're constantly on the run because of the way vampire culture works in this movie. I don't want to give away aspects of the movie, but Clara and Eleanor are constantly on the move because they have to remain hidden. Just everything with the atmosphere, and then it's a slow, character-driven story. You've got Clara, basically being the mother, trying to provide for them, while Saoirse is, though she's 200 years old, she still, in some ways, is still that 16-year-old girl that she was when she became a vampire, and she befriends this young boy, and the friendship between her and that boy, and just how their life progresses, and the fact that immortality is a long, long time, a really, really long time, and things can get kind of tiresome, and you get weary, you get road weary. You're always going. There's no rest really for someone who is immortal. And just the setting and the atmosphere is perfect for this, as it switches between some flashbacks to the earlier times of when they kind of became vampires and the lives they had then, coming up to the present, which is in many times set in the same locale, just obviously 200 years apart. This is not going to be for everyone. This is not your typical vampire flick. This is not what many people become used to in current vampire films, with it's all romance and glitz and all that stuff. This movie, while there is sex, there's nothing sexy about it. This is it's dark, it's depressing in many ways. It's a depressing film, but I liked it a lot. It's definitely a throwback to more to the type of vampire films that I enjoyed, the vampire stories I enjoy, where it's not this glittery, glamly, emo pretty boy world. It's dark and it's dreary, and in a lot of ways, it's not as glamorous as as it's supposedly made up to be. Scale of 1 to 10, this it kind of reminds me when you're looking at old architecture, old buildings, that have been there for a long time, but despite the efforts that people have to keep them up, many of them, they start to look rundown, they start to look old and weary, even though things around them are changing. They don't change. They're still that kind of same thing, and that's kind of how this movie is. It's a lot of ways that the characters don't change, even though they've had 200 years. There is that the whole struggle of what is your humanity, and holding on to that humanity. That's a big part of this, is trying to remain or keep that sliver of humanity to you without becoming the monster that supposedly vampires are. You're trying to keep that touch with that person that you once were. And it's hard when, everything around you fades and dies and you keep going and going and going. So, like I said, I like this one a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. Worth checking out. So, that's all I've got for this one. Until next time, stay safe out there in the wasteland, folks.